It's Netherlands time. Thank you for joining me. World Cup 2022 as we continue our team by team preview. Now, for me, a World Cup is not a World Cup without that sea of orange, that vibrancy, the energy of the Dutch crowd, which always adds to a World Cup tournament. So we're going to take a look today at a resurgent Netherlands under manager Louis Van Gaal. You can catch my other team previews and analysis on the channel. If you'd be able to like and subscribe to the channel as well, I'd very much appreciate it, and it would make you a World Cup legend. So let's have a little look at the Netherlands. Netherlands is a beautiful country, which I can attest to because I have been there. In particular, Amsterdam. The canals are absolutely beautiful to walk down with picturesque houses alongside the side. There's many places in the Netherlands which is well worth seeing and some beautiful landscapes. But with the football, I always attribute Netherlands at a World Cup to vibrancy, colour, excitement, the Dutch fans. It always adds something to a major tournament and atmosphere when Netherlands have qualified. Who can forget that Dennis Bergkamp goal against Argentina in the quarter-finals of World Cup 1998? Ball out of the sky controlled by Dennis Bergkamp for a wonderful touch and a stunning half volley. Football in a moment, in an instant, absolutely beautiful. A goal I will never forget. Of course, the Netherlands are famous for many things, including their windmills, many items of their cultural heritage, and Dutch cheese. Did you know that Dutch people eat on average 14.3 kilos of cheese per person per year? So get the cheese and wine parties ready for that opening match against Senegal. Last time out, the Netherlands had to watch the 2018 World Cup finals on their television sets without their national team, as they failed to qualify in the European section, knocked out in their group stage by France and Sweden. The two World Cups prior were their best performances for decades, and they became a three-time runner-up in 2010, losing in the final to an Andres Iniesta strike in extra time, having held on and, to be fair, kicked lumps out of a very technically gifted Spain side in the final. 4 years later, in 2014, with current manager Louis Van Gaal at the helm, the Dutch avenged the Spanish defeat, eliminating them in the group stage with a shocking 5-1 demolition, with doubles from Robin van Persie and Arjen Robben, including that flying header from Van Persie. After an inspirational penalty shootout substitution, bringing Tim Krul in for the penalty shootout in the quarter-final against Costa Rica, they were unable to perform the same trick in the semi-final, as they were knocked out by Argentina 4-2 in the shootout. They beat a demoralised Brazil for the third-place playoff, rounding off a strong tournament for the Dutch. Van Gaal will be looking for similar repeats, if not better, this time around. Netherlands are managed for the third time in their history by the wonderfully charismatic Louis Van Gaal. At club level, he is incredibly decorated, winning trophies at Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester United and Ajax. He's renowned as one of the top managers in the 1990s and 2000s, and always has a quote up his sleeves to keep us on our toes. So enjoy the wine and the mince pies. His previous two reigns saw Van Gaal record a 61% win ratio, and he took Netherlands to the World Cup in 2014, making the semi-final. Since his return in August 2021, the Dutch have been in devastating form, winning 11 out of his 15 matches, taking his overall win record to 69%. He's yet to taste defeat on his return. If that continues into the World Cup, the Netherlands will be a very dangerous team to beat. In qualifying, the Netherlands were pushed all the way by Turkey, with Norway and a certain Erling Haaland not too far away either in third place. In the end, the Dutch had to beat Norway in their final game to secure qualification and book their plane ticket to Qatar. It was a nervous time for Netherlands fans, who of course missed out on the 2018 World Cup tournament, failing to qualify, and were desperate to bring their orange support to the big stage again. So to get through that final match was huge for the country. Memphis Depay was the star man in qualifying, scoring an impressive 12 goals in all matches, including a vital hat-trick in the 6-1 demolition over Turkey in Amsterdam. After losing their opening game of qualifying to Turkey, the pressure was piled on Netherlands early, particularly after expected wins against Gibraltar and Latvia were followed by a draw against other group rivals Norway. But it then clicked into gear for the Dutch, winning their next 4 games without conceding a goal and scoring 17 in the process. This included the emphatic 6-1 win over Turkey. They then sealed their place in the final day with a win over Norway in a group where they will have gained confidence and a clear understanding of the tactical nous of Louis Van Gaal. The Dutch have been playing a 3-4-1-2 or 3-4-3 formation in their recent Nation League games, in a very historic feel to a 3-at-the-back Dutch systems of the past. Pasveer, Chillerson and Vlekken all played 2 matches each at recent times in goalkeeper, with Remco Pasveer of Ajax starting the most recent matches. Van Dijk is a most certain starter in the centre of defence, and he's often been employed with impressive youngsters Jurrien Timber and Manchester City's Nathan Ake. But Van Gaal also has backup options of Matthijs de Ligt and Stefan de Vrij as options to come in for either of those two. Dumfries and Daley Blind out wide provide wing-back options, with Hans Hateboer and new Manchester United signing Tyrell Malacia providing different options. Frenkie de Jong and Koopmeiners sit centrally, with Berghuis and Klaassen waiting in the wings. Exciting PSV star Cody Gakpo can be deployed just behind the strikers or up top, while Memphis Depay is most likely to be partnered by Steven Bergwijn. Now we look at key players in the Dutch squad, and here he is, Virgil van Dijk, VVD, the big Virg, son of Dick van Dijk? Well, no, not really. But then where did he get those excellent genes from? What I'm sharing with you here are the attributes from the player profile in the game Football Manager. Now, if you're not familiar with the game, then the attributes highlighted in bold are actually the ones that are supposed to be the most important for the preferred position the player plays within. Virgil van Dijk is undoubtedly one of the best centre-backs in world football. He's such a crucial part of that Liverpool backline, and it's actually his first international tournament for the Dutch, as he unfortunately missed Euro 2020 through injury, so he will surely be raring to go. He had a bit of a difficult start of the season at Liverpool, but there is no doubting his ability, and Football Manager certainly agrees. Strong in the air with pace and excellent mental abilities. It's his first touch and technique which also take him away from other rival defenders. He's likely the first name at centre-back you would write down if you were naming a World 11, but the interesting thing will be whether he can rise to his status in this World Cup. Next up, it's the man at the centre of the biggest transfer saga of the summer. It's Frenkie de Jong. For a long time linked to Manchester United and Chelsea towards the end, it looked like Barcelona were forcing him to move on. But the talented midfielder remained at Camp Nou as he looks forward now to the World Cup. With 45 caps, he has a number of strong passing and technical abilities, with excellent vision to suit part of Van Gaal's plans to make the midfield tick. He reads the game very well, and while Barcelona will feel that they haven't quite seen the best of him yet, his club and country partnership with Depay will be seen as key in this team. It'll be interesting to see how he performs this winter in Qatar. This winter. Still sounds odd saying Winter World Cup, doesn't it? Memphis Depay has been picking up a serious goal record for his national side, with 43 goals scored now in 82 matches. He begins his second season at Barcelona, where he'll be looking to improve on the 12 La Liga goals that he scored in 28 appearances last term. At international level, however, Depay has been on fire, shown with his qualifying goals record. Can he replicate it now on the biggest stage against the biggest teams? That is the question. He is of course a flair player, who is strong technically with some pace with the ball at his feet. If Netherlands are to have a strong tournament, they will surely be looking heavily on Depay to be the main danger man up front. So who are the Dutch playing? Well, the opening game is absolutely mouth-watering for Group A. Such an exciting prospect between the African champions and an opponent who missed qualification to the last World Cup and eager to re-impress on the international stage. Ecuador also propose a challenging prospect, with them qualifying out of a very tricky South American section and containing a number of Premier League stars and European top league quality. However, overall they're a fairly young team, untested on the world stage, so Netherlands will fancy their chances. Whoever wins that tantalising open match will be in a tremendous position to qualify for me. That's one of the early group games that I am most looking forward to. So now I take a stab at predictions. Well, Senegal are certainly capable of qualification and even topping the group, but this is a strong, in-form Netherlands side. The first game is going to be so important. It's a tough game to start, and whoever loses that game suddenly has the world of pressure on their shoulders for match day 2. I'm backing Netherlands though. I think they'll just have too much in the end to see Senegal down to second. Looking at the path ahead, I think they'll top the group, which would see them take on second in Group B. Depending how these fall and the teams that qualify, I could see Netherlands making a run, So I'm going to go for overall a semi-final spot. And with that, I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you'll join me for more of my team previews before the World Cup begins. Check all the links here, make sure you subscribe, and for now, I hope to catch you soon.